back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button, the notification bell, so you can get notified every time I post a new content. And if you are an Astrobaby, welcome. If you haven't, go check out my Twitter. That's where you'll find a lot of my astrology and tarot content. I'll link that in the description box below. But we're going to talk about how to hack your life using astrology. And I'm super excited to share with you my tips and tricks to living your best life. So first thing you want to do is grab your natal chart. I'm going to link in the description box below a natal chart generator that you can use. For the purposes of this video, I would like for you to use whole sign instead of Placidus. And that's because it's gonna make this a lot easier on you, okay? I want things to be as easy for you as possible. That's why my name is Astrobaby. Once you have your natal chart ready, get your pen, get your paper, and let's work on hacking this chart. So of course, I'm gonna use my chart as an example. I'm gonna be sharing with you the ways that I kind of went around all of the problem areas and made my chart work for me. The number one thing we say as astrologers is your chart is a framework for your life. It doesn't mean that everything is set in stone. You can work with the energies, you can make them work for you. It's very important to look at your chart with optimism instead of seeing it as a doom and gloom report. You know how astrologers tell you, look at the ascendant sign, look at the ascendant sign, look at the ascendant sign. That's because your ascendant sign is magical. Your ascendant sign sets the stage for your entire chart. Every single house in your chart tells you how you approach that area of your life. It's going to be all about your approach to the relationship you have with yourself. How do you move? How do you style yourself and show up in your life? The second house is going to be your approach to finance, income, things of value, material property, as well as your approach to your immediate environment. The third house is going to be your approach to siblings, your neighborhood, conversation, communication, expression, and the thought process. The fourth house is going to be your approach to the home and family, as well as your private life. The fifth house is going to be your approach to fun, relaxation, children, creativity. The sixth house is your approach to health, your daily life, your routine. Your seventh house is going to be your relationship to others. Any kind of relationship, guys. It doesn't have to be just romantic relationships. Seventh house is also your approach to contracts and agreements. The eighth house is going to be your approach to intimacy and sex, as well as how you deal with loss and endings and death. The ninth house is going to be your outlook, your perspective, your approach to education and learning and teaching others as well. The 10th house is going to be your approach to your goals, your career, your reputation, and public life. Your 11th house is going to be your approach to your hopes and dreams, as well as your social groups and where it is that you belong and fit in. Lastly, the 12th house is your house of your approach to healing and letting go, releasing anything that you need to release. So as you can see, all of your life is dictated by your ascendant sign. I have a Taurus ascendant, so that's going to be my first house. My approach to physical movement and to my body and to the way that I present myself is incredibly deliberate and intentional. I think things through before I do them. I'm also very considerate of the environment that I'm in. I dress according to the places I go and to the people that I'm around. Since Gemini is also my approach to my immediate environment, I tend to have a very scattered workspace, and I tend to have papers and books and things of that sort, Geminian things floating everywhere. I have a Leo fourth house, so my approach to family and home life tends to be very childlike. I like to have fun in the home. I like to decorate for the holidays. I like to laugh and giggle with my family. And we don't take things very seriously in my home. I have a Virgo fifth house, so this is the house of fun and joy. I have a lot of fun with meal prepping and shopping for vitamins at the vitamin shop. It's also really hard for me to relax because my brain is always on. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So say you want to improve your health, say you want to get better at organizing your day, you're going to go to your sixth house cusp sign. So that sign is going to tell you how you approach your day-to-day life. Now, this is where we get into the hacking. Ready? As a Libra 6th house, I approach my day-to-day life with a lot of romance. Back in the day when I was very overweight, I was about 220 pounds, which is 102 kilos at 5'2", which is very short. That's 157 centimeters if I'm not incorrect. but I was carrying a lot of weight and I was feeling extremely uncomfortable. And when I decided to get my health in order, I went straight to my sixth house, because the sixth house is your approach to physical health and your day-to-day routine. Turns out I was leaning too much on one side of that sign. I was being way too flexible and considerate with others and not with myself. I was eating a lot of pleasurable foods. Remember, Libra is ruled by Venus. You also want to check the planet that rules that sign, and we'll talk about that. But I looked at Venus. Venus is known for pleasure. So things like sweets and delicious foods are all associated with Venus. And I was eating in excess because I was trying to make myself feel good and feel happy all the time. I thought that I was doing the right thing, right? But I was leaning too much on Libran qualities in my day-to-day life that were not conducive to the life that I wanted to live. So what I did was I flipped my chart, and I thought, what if I approach my day-to-day life like an Aries as opposed to a Libra? Aries are associated with the first house of the relationship to self. It's associated with physical action, with energy, with physical activity. So I decided to inject some Aries qualities into my day-to-day life, and it helped me tremendously. Weighing the pros and cons, planning things but not taking action, depending on the people around me, eating too much pleasurable foods, and wanting to be comfortable all the time, I was actually doing myself a disservice. So what I did was I started to take more action, think less, do more. And even if I made mistakes, even if it wasn't perfect, I took action, and that helped to kickstart my sixth house. I started injecting physical activity into my daily life. I found it to be incredibly important to move my body and to get in touch with that side of myself, to finally learn to enjoy physical exercise on a daily basis. And now I cannot go a day without moving my body in some way. One of the issues I experienced with leaning too much on that Libra side to my sixth house was I was taking people into consideration that never took me into consideration, and that was making my daily life a living hell. So I flipped that and I decided to be more like an Aries. I decided to confront people head on when they were not being nice to me or being rude to me. I decided that I would place myself and put myself first like an Aries would, instead of leaning a lot and depending a lot on other people to make things work, to take care of my chores, to do things that I need to do. I started doing things by myself, and that was really important. Getting out of that comfort zone and doing things on my own. Remember, Aries is very solitary, so I started to come out of that bubble and take some risks. Aries is also associated with bravery and confidence and risk-taking. All that to say, if you want to hack your chart, you always want to look at the opposite sign of the area of your life that you're trying to troubleshoot. So that's what I have for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this astrology video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on my first astrology video. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really wonderful holiday season. Stay healthy and safe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.